she showed 1 week earlier when she captured her elimination in a career best clocking of 151-1. Those two get the bulk of the support, 6-1 on number 3, Marley B. She's been close in recent weeks, a good money winner this year. In behind the gate for tonight's 6th race, it's post time. Pacing fillies ready for liftoff. Here they come. They're off and pacing. First away for the lead from the far outside. Jet and Jamie powers out fast. Mock around the clock, leaving out in the center. Best Impressions third to the outside. Then it's back to No Talking Back, fourth in at the rail. Marley B left out from in fifth. Floating up sixth out there is Leave 'em Lady. Pan Louis Obispo backed all the way to seventh in the early going. Racing along from an eighth is OK Feisty. Further back to up front Hoosier Lady. Janet Jackson trailing by the quarter in 26-2. Jet and Jamie, that 50-1 shot, does the heavy lifting on the front end early here. Pocket sitting second at the inside is Mock around the clock. Then it's back to Best Impressions from in third. A rugged trip tonight for Leave 'em Lady. She was left out there from in fourth, and she'll continue that long uncovered bid from the backfield. On her back now, slipping out to catch cover, is Pan Louis Obispo. Then it's No Talking Back, hemmed in at the rail. Up front Hoosier Lady, seventh and driving. Further back eighth inside is Marley B. Followed to the outside by Janet Jackson. Trailing the field, OK Feisty, 55-4 the opening half. To the far turn, Jet and Jamie on the lead. Outside pressure coming in the form of the parked out Leave 'em Lady. Then it's back to third for Mock around the clock. Pan Louis Obispo in a perfect striking spot. Fourth outside on cover with about 3/8 to go. Jet and Jamie still there. Outside is Leave 'em Lady. Mock around the clock is buried. Pan Louis Obispo on cover, fourth outside. She's buried too, but on the back of a helmet, 3/4 in 124, and they come off the turn and into the stretch. Jet and Jamie still there with that lead. Outside, Leave 'em Lady. Off cover, Pan Louis Obispo. Jameson is crying out for racing room there with Mock around the clock. Deep stretch lead. Pan Louis Obispo strikes the front. Mock around the clock shakes loose at the cones. Pan Louis Obispo on top by a length. Mock around the clock is second in closing. Pan Louis Obispo. Mock around the clock. Pan Louis Obispo holds on to win it by a head, 151-4.
Okay, Pan Louis Obispo takes the 3-year-old pacing filly Midsummer Challenge, and Randy Waples joins me in the winner's circle. And Randy, you mentioned that leaving from the rail was kind of a tough spot for her, but you were able to work out a nice trip second over, and at the top of the lane came off that cover and went right by. She was pretty strong down to the wire.
Yeah, she raced fantastic again. She always does, you know. She's just a really nice little filly. She's good from behind, but she doesn't have like accelerating gate speed, and especially with the rail here, it's tough to get away. So, I mean, I was a little nervous because there was a lot of horses that looked like they were just going to drop down and try to get a flow going early, but I got lucky enough to get out on Scott's back, and he took me right to the head of the lane, and she sprinted like she always did, and she was able to hold off a really fast closing filly.
Yeah, and at any point were you worried about that filly coming up the rail, because Jody finally got that lane, and she came charging hard, but it looked like you had enough going to the wire?
Well, I mean, it's funny because when I first moved her, I was kind of a little bit worried that Jody would find a way up through there, but you know, then when I cleared and she crossed over, I thought that I'd be okay. You know, I thought I had enough of a jump on her, but then all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I could see the red and black hood starting to come, and you know, it was a race to the wire, and thank God the nice guy won.
Well, you won, that's for sure, and it worked out really well. And just talk about how consistent this filly is. She's only missed the board once in 9 efforts this year.
Yeah, you know, I mean, she was basically the same last year as a grassroots filly. She was very consistent, but she going into the final at Grand River, you know, it was a rainy night, and the track was really hard, and she just didn't agree with her, and I think she jumped it off that night, and it was really the only blemish on her whole card last year. I'm surprised that she was able to step up her game this year and, you know, be able to race against horses like Love Canal and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is, though, is she's got 2 huge factors going for her. Number one, she put size and weight on, which is always nice to see a 2-year-old come back as a 3-year-old and fill out the way she did. But the biggest thing is Bob, you know, I mean, he just does it year after year. You know, he just has his horses on their toes. His horses always seem to, you know, like they can race for years and years and years, and he just does an amazing job, him and his whole crew.
Well, congratulations, Randy, as Pan Louis Obispo takes the Midsummer Challenge in 151-4.